Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, I think it is. Good morning. Hope you all had a wonderful day yesterday. I got out onto the Amherst bike path, which was awesome. Whole lot of fun. Took that all the way, first time I ever rode it. Ellicott Creek Park, went through, I got over to Niawanda Park, rode that all the way down to the end, sat down for a little bit. So it was really nice. First time I've ever done it. If you haven't ever ridden that, I recommend it highly. Very nice. Also got over to Elma Town Park yesterday for the first time. Beautiful little spot right there off of Bowen. They have a nice little walking path and then a real big open field area, some pavilions, and then some benches where you can go and sit over by the creek there, watch the creek go by. But really nice day yesterday. I guess it's supposed to be a nice one today again. Saying it's supposed to rain a little bit later, but hopefully it won't rain until after 4 o'clock, so we get some of this roof in today. But I wanted to pick up on something that I was talking about yesterday. And what I was talking about yesterday were the schools and education. And just got a bunch more information. And it's from a teacher. This comes from a teacher. And what happened was, sorry guys, I'm going to probably quiet this ringtone down. There we go. So information I got from this teacher is consistent with reports and stories that I've gotten from other districts everywhere across the state, from hundreds of teachers, dozens of administrators, and then countless and untold parents and students shared the same information. But this just kind of reaffirmed it and shed a little bit more light onto what happened. Every single person that were in these schools, they stopped teaching somewhere around the beginning of March, end of February. And what a lot of these teachers, or what a lot of these administrators in these school systems and these school boards and the superintendents did from the very beginning was they told all the students that they were going to pass no matter what. No matter how much work they did, no matter how little work they did, that they were going to pass. That didn't apply to all school districts, but it applied to a bunch of them. And you as a parent with a child, you probably witnessed that. You were probably like, are you kidding me? This is really what you're going to tell my kid? And that they don't have to do any homework? They don't have to do anything at all? So there was that. All just confirmed again, all of the teachers' aides did nothing. Most of the teachers worked for about an hour a day, maybe 2 hours at most. That was how long they worked each day. Now, this isn't an attack on teachers. I don't want to make this an attack on teachers. What I am making it an attack on is what happened. And the school systems all charged us those tax bills. What did they do with the money? Where is the money? Ask the questions, guys. They're not even going to have school board meetings. Inundate every single school board member with emails, with everybody in your town that you know. Inundate them. Write the emails to the superintendent. Ask them what happened to our tax dollars. Janitors weren't paid. Teachers' aides weren't paid. You didn't have school buses running. You did fuel costs. Utilities costs with the schools. They didn't have to do anything with any of that. They didn't have to pay people for sports. Do we have to pay insurance for sports and facilities? Because if we did, we should get the refunds back from the insurance companies that these districts had to pay for those things. She went on to say that, her kids that she taught, they wouldn't attend. It's impossible for her to get these kids to attend because they knew they were going to be passed no matter what. So additionally, what she kind of exposed was, I guess there's new 3rd and 8th grade testing. She said complete fraud, total fraud. The company that does it, Pierce somebody or other, they sold everybody on the testing. And they then provide all of the resources, and then they provide the tests and the instruction and everything else, and they all get paid. Says it's a farce, complete bullshit. Regents, same thing. She goes, you pay these people all this money for this additional testing, it all goes to this company. We don't know that. They position it like it's actually the Regents program within New York State, which is what they love to do, right? They love to associate private businesses when they benefit with it like they're there, like they're a part of the government, like the DMV. They do that all the time. Total complete joke. She said nobody took those tests. Nobody ended up taking the Regents test. So where was all the money that would have gone to that? Where was all the money that would have gone to the 3rd and 8th grade testing? Did they just pay these companies? You guys, I mean, a fleecing of untold magnitude across the state, that they just took that money, these school districts took that money, assumed nobody was going to ask the questions, nobody was going to investigate, and guess what? Nobody is. Local news media is not, newspapers aren't, online news sources aren't, nobody's exposing this. And why? Well, because the schools are untouchable. It's our money. So she ended up confirming that nobody worked, nobody was working. Teachers' aides were literally doing nothing, and getting paid. Remember when Governor Cuomo came out and told everybody, hey, all state employees are gonna get paid. That's the way it is. They're all getting paid. Yep. They made sure that happened. And then the tax bills, when did the tax bills, guys, come? In March, with increases. She also went on to say that she feels like what's happening with the governor and not giving everybody a definitive plan, she feels like it's just a vehicle, a mechanism for him and these politicians and these government agencies to prolong and perpetuate the whole process, just to extend it out because they are waiting. So they know people will tune in with anxious and bated breath going, what's happening? What do I need to do? And she feels like it's criminal, just like all the teachers and administrators I know. They feel like what's happening is just absolutely criminal. So anyways, we're going to end on that with that because I did talk about that a lot yesterday. But what I want to talk about now, moving on, you're seeing Walmart being weaponized in the war against all of us now. You're seeing Starbucks being weaponized against all of us in the war against all of us now. You're seeing there are a handful of other companies that are being weaponized against all of us with masks, and they've been doing it for a while. They've been trying to bully and intimidate people into doing that. And they're saying they're private businesses, so they don't want to put their employees at risk or their other customers at risk. So they have the right to refuse you entry into that store, which is not the case. That is flat out discrimination. If they refuse your entry into their store and you have a medical condition, whatever that is, you do not need to provide a note. You do not need to tell them what that is. That is discrimination. And if they try to kick you out of the store, you need to sue them. I will be suing the wine cellar. I will be suing the town of Cheektowaga. That is a fact. That is what I will be doing. We need to make an example of every single one of these stores that do this. Every single one of them. We need to bury them in lawsuits, into submission. That's how we do it. Everybody asks me, well, Pete, how do we do it? That's one vehicle and mechanism that we can use to do this. If we can't sue the health department, and we can't sue the state, and we can't sue polling cars, we can't sue the county, then we can sure as shit go after each and every one of these individual and private businesses. Bury them in lawsuits. Bury them. Don't even, the whole thing, we can't Walmart, if we boycott Walmart, that's not going to affect anything. You know what I mean? We've got millions and millions and millions of us, but where's everybody going to go? That is what I talk about when I talk about centralization and nationalization of these businesses. Now, guess what? It's super easy. You got to go to a retail store. Which retail store is around? Oh, it's Walmart. Oh, Walmart said I got to wear a mask. Really easy to dictate what happens when you only have a handful of businesses that operate in all 50 states under one umbrella of a corporation. It's real easy to affect everybody. That's why that's so dangerous, and that's why I was talking about that the other day. So moving on, I want to talk about the new narrative that they're pushing. Wear masks now. Japan wore masks the whole time. South Korea wore masks the whole time. No, they didn't. And even your mainstream media sources reported on it that they did not wear masks the entire time. If we wear a mask, it'll be 4 to 6 to 8 weeks and everything will be gone. That's the new narrative. 4 to 6 to 8 weeks. You can't get that number down a little bit because last I remembered, you said 15 days to bend the trend. So that was a lie. Why am I going to believe you now in this new lie? Especially when even yourselves, CDC, WHO, Fauci, Surgeon General, OSHA, mask manufacturers, even though they all say that it's not going to work, they've all admitted it's not going to work. The science says it's not going to work. It's not going to affect it the way you think. And as a matter of fact, by using the masks, you're going to delay it. Just like when you did the lockdowns, when you told everybody, stay at home, be safe, protect your neighbors, don't you care about your neighbors? Well, guess what that did, guys? Now they undermine their own thing, but we all forget this, and we don't call them out on their bullshit. So what happened was they locked us all down. They locked us in our houses. They said, don't go out unless you absolutely have to. If you're an elderly person, stay at home, don't go out. Well, guess what that did, guys? That didn't allow everybody, scientifically proven, that if they would have went out, they would have developed the antibodies. They would have developed herd immunity. Just like with every other virus that was out there. What they did instead was they sheltered whatever percentage of the people decided to be a lemming and stay inside their home out of fear, irrational fear, and not doing any of their own research. What they did is they bought themselves a whole other mountain of time to get this second wave, the second spike that they keep talking about. So they lied to us about the 10 days originally, then the 15 days. That was a lie. That's all we need. That's all we need. And they were like, oh shit, everybody's listening to this. That was super easy. No, we're going to incrementally lock everything down now. We're going to incrementally, remember the incremental lockdowns that they had? Store by store, sector by sector that they locked down. Oh, and then now you got to stay at home. You can't, churches are shut down. Can't go to church. Incrementally, they did that, remember? And I think, what was it? Every announcement was made on a Monday or a Tuesday. Slowly and softly conditioned you, programmed you, indoctrinated you into buying into the nonsense and the bullshit. And how? Because you felt like you were going to protect everybody. You felt like you were going to protect yourself. You felt like you're doing your duty, your civic duty as a good citizen to protect everybody else. That's how they sold you on the lie. So here we are. After they told us and promised us, just, don't go out, 10 days, stay inside. We're going to have this lockdown, complete lockdown, and we're going to be fine. Now, guess what? That day, shattered right through it. The numbers aren't going down. We're not where we need to be. And then they showed that graph. So normally in a pandemic, what happens is, like happened in Sweden, Slovenia, Japan, South Korea, dozens of other countries. You can't find that information on Google, but if you dig, you'll find it. Spike, down and over. That's how it works. What New York State has done, okay, so here's the deaths in New York State, right? This is it. New York City, you killed a bunch of people. Rest of New York State in Erie County was this. New York City, this. That's what deaths were. That's what you worry about when you have a pandemic. You're not worried about people getting it. You want people to get the virus so that they can develop antibodies and herd immunity. That's what you want. And now you're going against your original plan. What your original plan was to just bend the trend, slow the curve. Well, 50% of the people or more all got the virus by your own data, by your own research, by all the deaths that you said that they had. All these people have had it. But now you're saying there's a new second spike and a second wave and we have to extend it out and we all have to wear masks for 4 to 6 to 8 weeks. Well, where does 4 to 6 to 8 weeks takes us? And you know it's not going to be 4 weeks, and you know it's not going to be 6 weeks. It's going to be 8 weeks, at least. Then what happens? Oh shit, what month is it? August, September, end of September, and October. Guess what? They were talking about from the very beginning, even though this has been here since August, proven by health departments all over the country that put out the flyers in December and January. It has been here that long. We've already had the second spike. It's already been there. They've been talking about that second spike since day one. And Gavin Newsom, oh, it's the first spike. It's not the second spike. Wants to make really sure that he maintains that narrative and keeps everybody scared. October comes around. Guess what? It's wintertime again, fall. Oh, it's here. All the numbers. Even though all of the medical professionals, everybody in these hospitals, every nurse, every PA, every doctor, not all of them, the ones that are bought out still are hysterical and are seeing things that aren't even there. But anybody with a brain in their head has been saying, this is nothing. This is a fraud. They've all said that. So now this new narrative, 4 to 6 to 8 weeks, everybody wear a mask, force Walmart, or Walmart's going to force everybody to wear a mask, can't go out and eat. Guys, like I have said, it is one lie after another. They have undermined and contradicted their own lies over and over and over and over again. Every single thing they've told us has been a lie. If we do this, this will happen. And then here we are, 5 months later. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, it's 100 days or it's 117. Like when the whole thing started, people were saying it, and we're on day 18. Bitch, we're in day, like, I don't know where you're at, by what count you're on, but we're in day like 40. You know, March, April, May, June, it's about 120 days, and now we're halfway through July, going into the second half of July. You're into 140 days, 150 days of a shutdown right now. And they want to go more. Guess how many months that's going to be, guys? 8 more weeks. 5 months now, we're into 7 months of shutdown. Then guess what? It gets easy after that point for them. Well, shit, they were fine with being shut down and under our rule and executive orders and, soft martial law for all that time. I mean, we're 7 months, so why don't we just take it another few months? Who is stepping up for us? Nobody. Democrats certainly aren't. They want this. Liberals aren't. They want this. Conservatives aren't. Republicans aren't. You have a handful of outspoken Republicans and conservatives that are trying to fight, and nothing is happening. Nothing is opening back up. Nothing is changing. They want to extend it out another 2 months, 7 months. Then guess what's going to happen, guys? They told you a second spike was coming. A second spike doesn't work like, this, and then you go all the way out, and then another spike. They're just creating spike after spike. How are they creating spike after spike? Because they own and control the information. They have all the false negative tests. They can put out any numbers they want. Who's verifying them? Who's confirming them? Who's corroborating them? No one is. These fascist regimes that parade around under the guise of public safety and public health with the health department, each one of these county health departments, they are communist. They are socialists. They are loving this. So guess what's going to come in October? October, new spike is going to come, lockdown, and it repeats itself all over again. And then you're going to sit there and wait for the tidbits that they're going to give us back. Well, we could do this now. Oh, yay, we could do that. No, that's not how this country works. That's not why everybody who immigrated to this country came to this country, fled to this country from that exact type of tyranny. No one gets to decide for any reason, no matter what, according to our Constitution, to shut our businesses down, to shut our lives down, to shut our pursuit of happiness down. They don't get to do that, but they are, and we're allowing that. So now we get into year 1. Now it's really easy for them, guys. Super easy. And the death rate that they have, is like 0.0006. It's ridiculously low. And in a lot of areas of the country, it's not even register. It doesn't even register because they haven't had any deaths or any cases. But they have shut down, they have convinced everyone to shut down all the counties that did stay open. You know how they did that? Because they come out and they threaten and they intimidate these public officials to say, if one person dies, it's going to be on you because you stayed open. That's how they're doing it. When you sit back and you wonder how are all these states and counties that were open before, now why are they closing down and doing this? Because they're coming out, and we can't hold Cuomo accountable for the 30, 40,000 deaths he's had, the 11,000 seniors he slaughtered or more by his actions, by his direct actions. No, he's okay to do that. But if you stay open, we're going to hold you accountable, and we're going to roast you and fry you and hold you criminally liable. We need to use the same tactics they are, guys. If they're going to hold politicians criminally liable for doing something that is communist to shut everything down, that's not something that should even be possible. But this is how they're doing and accomplishing what they're doing. We need to turn it on them and say that you are shutting people's lives down, you are stealing from them, you are depriving life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You are depriving them from being with their families, from going to church. You are criminal. In the Constitution, it allows for you, if you violate anything in the Constitution, it is punishable up to death. Death. Every single one of these agencies and departments has violated their constitutional oath. They have gone against every single one of us. It's politically motivated, but it's more than that, guys. It's all about control. It's all about transferring everything in this country from a constitutional republic to communism. And if you don't think you're in communism right now, take a look at a communistic country and see what they do. See how they handle everything. And then compare it to how they're handling us right now here in our country. Compare it. Take that time and do it. So what are they going to do? It's going to come now, next March comes, now we're in it a year. Oh shit, guess what now? Now it's a new virus. The new virus has adapted. Hundreds of viruses around every day, guys. Way more deadly than this. I called it from the beginning, and I warned everybody from the very beginning, don't allow this shutdown. You give them an inch, and look what they've taken. You gave them 10 days. They took 5 months of your life. 5 months of your life are gone. In fear. Living at home. They're going to perpetuate this as long as they can, guys. And if they can use a virus that is killing so few people to do it now, they can use it for any reason. The common flu kills up to 60,000 or 80,000 people a year in this country. They can use the common flu to perpetrate this on us every time. Unless we stand up, unless we stand together. Trump's not doing it. AG Barr's not doing it. We're all sitting there like, oh, something's going to happen. Somebody's going to come and save us. Who's coming and saving us, guys? From the next 8 weeks. From Walmart forcing people to wear masks or you can't shop in their store. From who gives a shit about Starbucks, but Walmart, the single biggest corporation and retail center in the country, everywhere, says that if you don't wear a mask. So what's next, guys? Vaccinations. The vaccination vote was delayed from June 13th to November. Just after the election, New York State Board of Attorneys, that they said they were going to have it on June 13th, and now they're going to do that. So guess what's next, guys? You don't get the vaccination, you're not going shopping. Contact tracers, if you have it, you're going to be away from your family for 14 days, guys. They have, not only have they floated all of these ideas, they're doing them. But they're doing it in a way that is tactical and calculated, measured, and incremental. And because they're doing that, we all sit back and we go, oh, well, hey, everything's okay. You know, it's not that bad. You know, contact tracers are out there, you know, forcing people to stay home for 14 days. Our borders are locked down. That's the other thing. Our borders are locked down. Can't travel to this state, if any state, by plane. If you do it, you come back, you're in quarantine 14 days. So you can't travel. So another constitutional right that they've deprived you of, your right to travel and cross borders, that's gone. Communism, guys. Make no mistake about it. They have declared war. And I have been calling this out forever. So what do, guys? Militias. Organized militias. Every area is allowed to have a militia. If you know anybody at all out there that can organize those militias, organize them. Get groups of people together. And then what we need to do is we need to organize the militias. Get law enforcement that hates this together. Get all of them together. Every single one of them in every single county that hate this, that hate Cuomo, that hate their county executives, that hate these executive orders, that hate these standing orders of tyranny. Get them together in these militias. Anybody that you know that is ex-military, that hates this, get them in a militia. Let's get these militias organized. Because now when we have law enforcement and ex-military, now we've got some clout, guys. Now it's real. You want answers and you want to know how you do it. That's how you do it. How else do we do it, Pete? You find the most respectable, the most admired, the most highly regarded individual in law enforcement in this state. You find that individual and you get him to run for the highest office that he can. If it's Cuomo or who else. And if it's too far out for him to run for that office, then we take that office with him. If he is the most highly regarded, or he or she are the most highly regarded law enforcement officer in this state, we use them, we support them, we back them to take this state back. To go in there, to march into Albany and throw Cuomo out of our house and into jail. That's how you do it, guys. That's how you overcome communism. If we wait too long, we're in this for a year. And then we're into it for 2 years. And all of a sudden people go, now guess what? You forget we're still close to what we used to have, right? We're like, oh, it's going to go back to normal. We're still close to being able to visit parents, go to church, go to school, go to the beach, have businesses open, not wear a mask, be able to travel wherever we wanted to, not have forced vaccinations, not get thrown in jail for not wearing a mask in a place, not have people coming after us and attacking us and beating us. We're so close to that. But guess what? The further out you go with what they have done to us, the further out you go, the less real that seems. And they know this, and they know that. So what becomes common and accepted for the masses? What we have now. And what do we have now? Impending threat of forced vaccinations, forced mask wearing, private businesses being weaponized against us, government agencies being weaponized against small businesses. Small businesses shut down. 40 to 50% of all small businesses shut down, never to open. 40 to 50% of all small businesses shut down, never to open up again. Never. That is an attack on America. That is an attack on Americans, guys. When we are in where we're at right now, it becomes common and normal. Now you get to a year, now you start to forget. And they know that you're going to start to forget the way that it was. And the new normal becomes normal. And then guess what they do, guys? They take it even further. They move the needle even further. Nobody thought that we would ever be in a lockdown. Nobody ever thought our kids wouldn't be able to go to school. Nobody ever thought we wouldn't be able to travel. Nobody thought we would be able to we're forced to wear masks. This isn't the end game, guys. This is far from the end game. What the end game is, I don't know exactly. Bill Gates has articulated it. He wants everybody to have a vaccination. He wants everybody to have the microcomputers within their systems. He wants everything to be digitized, currency to be digitized, medical records to be digitized and inside us. That's what they want. That's what he's articulated. That's what WHO has articulated. They've said this. TED Talk after TED Talk. You don't believe me? Look it up. That's what they have articulated. And that is what they want. And that is what governments are complying with. That's what state governments are complying with right now in this country. This is not the end game, guys. We go further out. We go another 2 months out. We keep forgetting and forgetting. And it keeps eroding where we were. The happiness that we had. All that happiness and joy that we all had. Best unemployment numbers ever. Greatest number of African Americans in the workplace. Greatest number of Hispanics, Latinos in the workplace. Asian Americans, Arabic population. Everybody working, happy. Businesses robust. Everybody happy, going out, doing everything that they want to do. Destroyed by fascism and tyranny. And they did it without a single shot from a gun. It was shots from so-called media, government agencies, politicians, governors. That's where the shots came from. And it crushed your soul, and it crushed your ability to stand up and do anything. It put so much fear in you. It's just like that officer. You have that one officer that's out there, and they know this. There's one officer out there on the 290. How many people does that control? Thousands every day, every morning. It controls thousands of people. But guess what? Black Lives Matter and Antifa showed that, the weakness of that system. There's a weakness in their game, and there's a weakness in their system right now. And that is they don't have the numbers. We have the numbers. But they have one officer sitting in the middle of a highway controlling thousands and thousands and thousands of people. They have one politician controlling hundreds of thousands of people. Don't be afraid. I've given you guys the information and the tools. I try to support everybody with the information, the knowledge, to impart on everybody to say, hey, go out there and do something, anything. Militias, getting all law enforcement, military, get those organized. We are going to need them. And then when we take it back, it's not going to go back to where it was before. It's going to be even better, because we are going to strip every single one of these government agencies of their power and their ability to attack every single one of us and declare war on us every single day. It's not going to be enough to say, hey, we're going back to February of 2020. No. We weren't in a great place in February 2020 either, guys. We were in a good place. Everybody was happy. But there was a lot of bad stuff that needed to be corrected. And we can take that back. But that's how we got to do it. If anybody has any ideas of who that top law enforcement officer is that despises Cuomo in this state, that is very highly regarded, please private message me. Send that information to me so that we can start to support that individual and their push, and every other law enforcement member of law enforcement. They all hate Cuomo, guys. They all hate polling cars. They all hate de Blasio. They don't care about them. It's our time to capitalize on that, guys. So, yeah, lots to talk about, but I'm done today. It was great seeing you all. Oh, hey, Constitutional Coalition of New York, great organization. The Orticellis are going to be there, and everybody else. I'm going to post it on my page again today. I have posted it, It's a barbecue today fundraiser for their organization. They've been fighting hard. Dave DiPietro has been a huge supporter. I believe a member of that group as well. He's awesome. Teresa DiPietro. I mean, guys, these people are amazing. They have been fighting the fight for years and years and years. So many of us, I've been fighting, but I've been alone. I've been fighting it alone against my Facebook people and my circle of friends and people that I know. Now I have all of you guys there to support me. But if you're in the area and you want to head out to Hamburg on Camp Road, I believe it's by, it's one of the fire departments that starts with an S. I'm putting it on Facebook. That's real specific, right? But you come on out and hang out with me. Let's talk. Let's feel good. Let's have a little party. I think you can probably, Scranton. I want to say it's near Scranton Fire Department, but I could be completely wrong. But anyways, hang with me. I'm going to be there all afternoon supporting those guys. I got to join today, so I'm bringing my cash to join and become a member. I want to say it's super cheap, like $20 or $40 or $50, something like that to join. But come on out, guys. Like I said, it's in Hamburg on Camp Road. I'm going to post it on my page so that you guys can see it. And then there's a protest tomorrow. I'm going to be posting that today and then tomorrow as well. It's in front of a politician's house. She locally has voted for, forced vaccinations, defunding of police. She has voted for all kinds of ridiculous things. And the move that the protesters are taking right now are to attack the actual legislators, which is a great idea, to go to their houses and put a focus on them, rattle their cages a little bit. So I'm going to post that information as well. You guys have a wonderful day. It was awesome seeing you guys as always. I look forward to seeing you probably tonight, just because there's so much to talk about. But if not tonight, then tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Love you.